agenda? Anybody else?
Will you share mine?
Did you need a personnel report?
And you know, we got to do before she leaves, since she's here, we got to get a picture of her and the whole board, because she's the first one to separate.
Yeah, I got her plaque right here.
No, I'm done with that. Whenever you're going to use it again, spread them through.
For Chelsea, Paula, and Jada. Yeah.
Just us and her, the first.
We'll get one with her afterwards.
I
Or
know that, but I'm not talking, I don't want to do it. I don't want, it's maybe for another purpose.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Since she's here. That's all. She may come back. So let's get
Okay.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you may need to use this.
In June, July. That's the story. Switch seats. Oh, because it.
Good evening. The time is 6:08. The place is East Chicago Central High School Auditorium, 1100 West Columbus Drive, East Chicago, Indiana, 46312. This meeting is also being live streamed on the School City of East Chicago website. This is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting school corporation's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. Can we begin with roll call first?
Present.
Present.
Present. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Is allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to have a moment of silence for the young girl who we lost. Thank you. The School City of East Chicago is committed to developing a community of lifelong learners who are empowered to access, process, evaluate, and ethically apply information in an ever-changing global society. Next on the agenda, we have special presentations for the JROTC, the NHS, Top 20, Student Trustee Salutatorian and Valedictorian. Here's one else.
Alrighty, as we call your name, you're actually going to come up the stage on this side in order to be presented with your certificate. We have from JRLCTC, Camila Ramirez. Elena Oblea Velada. Miriam Saeed. Now for your NTHS senior scholars. Jada Sellers. Paola Salazar. Raul Alonso. Fabiola Ceballos. Fantasia Brown. Misael Leon. Eduardo Rodriguez. Juan Garcia. Tylia Young. Kanaya Green. Candace Warren. Chelsea Lott. Diego Galvez. Gabriel Ramirez. Lamar Smith. Michael Villagomez. Camila Ramirez. Tania Flowers. Janaya Anderson. Angel Segura. And for your top 20 distinguished graduates, we have Jada Sellers. Paola Salazar. Raul Alonso. It goes to Jada. Raul Alonso. Fabiola Ceballos. Fantasia Brown. Misael Leon. Eduardo Rodriguez. Juan Garcia. Tylia Young. Kenaya Green. Candace Warren. Chelsea Lott. Diego Galvez. Gabriel Ramirez. Lamar Smith. Michael Villagomez. Camila Ramirez. Tania Flowers. Janaya Anderson. And Angel Segura. Thank you all.
Next, we have a couple other special awards that we would like to present. This first one goes to Chelsea Lott, who is our student trustee. Chelsea has been our student trustee for this past year, and we want to congratulate her for all her work.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we would also like to celebrate our salutatorian, who is Paula Salazar. Congratulations. And next, we have our class valedictorian for the class of 2024, Jada Sellers. We will take a brief 5-minute recess as we get some photos, and then we continue to the business part of our meeting. next item on the agenda, we have our administrator's report, Dr. Mitchell.
Yes. First, I'd like to just thank you all for coming out tonight. And as always, I always begin with thank you for allowing me to sit in this seat to serve the school city of East Chicago and our students as well as community. Again, thank you. Part of the job of a superintendent is to ensure that we're taking care of the well-being of not only our faculty and staff, but also our students. And this year has been a very trying year. I think I've attended, well, I'm going to say I attended numerous funerals. And today there was a funeral of Anna E. Salcido Dominguez, one of our fifth grade students at Lincoln, was funeralized this morning. And just this past weekend, we had another one of our students, Brooke Pullen, who suffered a fatal asthma attack. Again, as students in our Cardinal community, trauma has plagued this district heavily. And we take that seriously. You know, trauma, mental health, wellness, all of those are very important. Without solid mental health, without a strong sense of self, without balancing those things and trying to take care of that, it makes the job of being an educator difficult, but it makes the job of a student even that much harder. I've also had the privilege of it, and I can't say privilege, I've also was very concerned with many of our students as I engaged them at various programs. I've witnessed students have not only mental breakdowns, but I also have seen them have just plain meltdowns when it just came to it. And that's just a sign that things are not as well as they look. They're not as well as they seem. And I just really want to thank the board at this time. And as definitely our administrators led by our social emotional learning director and our special ed director, Tammy Pohl and Dr. Leslie Yanders, for the yeoman's work that they do in trying to ensure the health and well-being of our students. But also we've extended that to our faculty and staff with the aid of Community Health Net and Infinity Mental Health Services. So again, these things are real, and we must treat them as real. And so if you see something or you see someone struggling or having a hard time, reach out and then share that. I know we hear this thing, see something, say something. It's not only for a crime being committed, it's for our personal health and well-being also. If you see something, say something. But again, on a brighter note, this week, last week and this week, we've had a number of field days with our students at all levels, and our students are really have come to a close of testing, and now we're at the end of the year, and people are celebrating with, and again, let's join in that chorus of celebration to really cheer our students on. They've done a really great job, and if we don't tell them that we're grateful, that we're appreciative, that we support them, that we encourage them, they don't know. So tonight, tomorrow, whenever you see our students, give them a word of encouragement. Let them know that there is another day, there is another fight, and they have a whole life before them for them to live out the greatness that has been planted in them. And also, this is the end of our academic, this week is the end of our academic week, but next week we start off with summer school. So again, let's encourage our students to be the best students that they can be in summer school. But this summer school is a little different than previous summer schools because we have our traditional summer school day from 8 to 12, and then that afternoon we're doing enrichment. That enrichment is open to any student in the community of East Chicago. That's one of our students to come in. They can learn art, music, dance, theater, you name it. The enrichment is for all of that. And again, these are just some of the services that we provide and that we'll continue to provide in trying to make sure that we're developing the whole child and not just part of the child. Again, I want to just thank you all for allowing me to serve, and I'll continue to serve if duty calls. So thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Next, we have our Chief Financial Officer's report.
Good evening, all.
We're coming up on the end of the school year for the 23-24, so we're in the processes of closing out our books for this school year. So we have several things going on to start our new budget for the 25 school year. Me and another administrator will be attending the budget seminar at IASBO and the Indiana State School Board Association. It is a joint meeting that will be held on 6/12. We're going to start preparing for the 2025 budget, and we will start that in the 1st of July. HVAC, all 3 schools, Washington, Harrison, and McKinley, HVAC system will officially start on June 3rd. It is going to be a fast-moving project, so we're going to see a lot of cars, a lot of traffic around that area, and we ask that everybody be safe around those 3 schools. Annual report. The school district will do the annual report, and it will be out by September the 1st, and that is the annual report for the 23-24 school year. That will have our details on all of our funding. And that's all I have.
Next on the agenda, we have board reports. We have Superintendent Search Committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a quick update. I received notification from BWP. We are going to continue moving forward, and looks like we're on schedule as we originally planned. For the audience, we'd just like you to know that we have narrowed down the list to a few candidates. The primary thing that we're going to be focusing on is the superintendent candidates' feedback on what the community asked for. And one of the main things that they had asked for was improvement in our 3rd grade reading scores. They had also asked that we improve our graduation rate. And the other thing we talked about, or the community talked about, was, how do we retain teachers and students? How do we, get those students back into our school buildings that are East Chicago kids? So those are the 3 focuses on the 100-day reentry plan. We're asking each of the candidates to present that to the board in a executive session. Once that's over, the board will convene again and make a determination probably sometime in June. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Next, we have approval of the agenda. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of tonight's agenda? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion for the approval of tonight's agenda.
Move for approval.
Motion made by Trustee Gomez. Second, made by Trustee Rodriguez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. And next, we have our consent agenda, which includes the distribution of payroll and donations. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of the consent agenda? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion for the approval of the consent agenda.
Mr. President, make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Trustee Rodriguez.
Second.
Second made by Trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we move into old business, where we have the approval of the paraprofessional collective bargaining agreement. Before we start, is there any comments from the audience on the approval of 7.01, the paraprofessional CBA? Okay. I am looking for a motion for the approval of 7.01.
Mr. President, I move for approval.
Motion made by Trustee Gomez, Second made by Trustee Smith. Is there any discussions? Is there any questions from the board? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a roll call vote.
Trustee Gibson King?
Yes.
Trustee Gomez?
Yes.
Trustee Smith? Yes. Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Chairman Archiega?
Yes, motion passes. Next on the agenda, we have new business. We will go ahead with 8.01, the approval of the personnel report. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of the personnel report tonight? Seeing and hearing none, I am looking for a motion to approve tonight's personnel report.
Mr. President, I move for approval of 8.01.
A motion made by Trustee Gomez. Second made by Trustee Rodriguez. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I got some discussion, Mr. President.
Okay. Let me make sure your mic is on.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, yes. Let's see here. Let's see. Excuse me 1 minute here. Yes, I wanted to ask Ms. Pohl, here where it reads, this individual that's going to be homebound. You have two individuals that's going to be homebound. One of the individuals don't say where the homebound is going to take place. Oh, well, it don't get a teacher's name. I don't want to get a student's. Oh, Sandra, I'm sorry. Pardon?
The library, I believe that one's at the library. Unless it's medical, it's in the home, but if it's, for other reasons, then it may be in the library.
Oh. Okay, okay, I'll just further discuss with you my other concern. Thank you.
Is there any other questions or discussions on the personnel report? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 8.02, the approval of the claim docket. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of 8.02? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion for the approval of 8.02. Motion made by Trustee Smith,
Second.
second made by Trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I have a question I want to ask Mr. President.
Yes.
Here on page 12, where it says travel hut, well, what is this travel hut?
Travel Hut is the current travel company that we are using to book most of our PD training that requires either hotel stays, and if it's a distance, it would be airplane also. They're handling all of those things that we used to handle in-house.
So did someone attend this conference already?
This conference is the conference that will be attended by the EL director in November or October.
Just only one person?
No, I do believe she has a total of 4 that's going with her.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Is there any other questions or comments or discussion for 8.02? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 8.03, the approval of regular board minutes from April 9th, 2024, executive meeting April 11th, April 22nd, and regular meeting April 23rd, 2024. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of these board minutes on 8.03? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion for the approval of 8.03. Motion made by Trustee Smith.
Second.
Second made by Trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Next on the agenda, we have 8.04, the approval of the MOU with Wildlife Habitat Council Incorporated.
Wildlife Habitat is an organization that we're partnering with. I know a number of school board members voiced their concerns about having landscaping and various programs dealing with the environment. We were gracious enough to be approached by Wildlife Habitat Council to actually provide some of that training. So in this particular, with this particular MOU, not only will our students at the high school level be trained in the biology of plants and things like that, they will also have the opportunity to attend workshops, to design landscapes, to actually there's dollars in there for them to plant native trees, shrubs, perennials, and get involved in the type of soil composition that it takes for those plants to thrive. And along with this also, the Environmental Protection Agency is going to provide another sub-award for our students to learn how to use air quality monitoring devices. We believe that this is a worthwhile MOU, an event that will really expose our students to the environment and what it takes not only to be good stewards of the environment, but also to provide them exposure to careers in the environment and biology fields.
Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of 8.04? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve 8.04.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Trustee Gomez. Second made by Trustee Smith. Is there any discussions?
Mr. President.
Yes.
I want to thank Dr. Mitchell for putting this MOU together. I know that we're kind of in an urban environment, but there's no reason why we shouldn't have our kids connected to the environment to make this city a cleaner place. I was looking at and thinking about this over the last couple of weeks or so. Dr. Mitchell, you can focus on, I believe we used to have a partnership with BP and Block School. They had that little garden alongside there. It's kind of gone to the side. Maybe Ms. Quiroga knows a little bit about it and can help. But if we can kind of regain that energy with BP and clean up that place more specifically, I think it'd be a nice addition to whatever we're doing here. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Yes.
I just have a quick question. To Dr. Mitchell's point regarding the subawards, I see that there's a reference on page 4 to 2 subaward agreements that will be presented at some point. Can you just describe for the board when that happens and kind of some additional details on that so they know what to expect?
Yeah, like with many things, it takes funding to make those things a reality. And so with this particular MOU, there are some subawards that have some funding associated with it, not only to purchase the plants, but also to buy the monitoring devices and some of the training that goes along with that. So that will be at minimal to no cost to the district for this MOU to be activated.
Is there any other discussion at this point?
Project to begin.
Well, this was all contingent on the board approval.
Okay.
Once the board approves it, then this will take place the 24-25 school year. So this will be in the fall.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
After, once you guys execute this, then it will go into effect. So we're finished with the spring semester and to the fall semester.
Okay.
Any other questions or discussion items at this time? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 8.05, the approval of flooring for the second floor at Harrison Elementary.
Yes. This is a local contractor who did the first floor flooring with the last round of ESSER dollars. This is now we're at ESSER $3. They're going to do the second floor of Harrison Elementary School to complete that project. You will see before you the total costs, including the remove and haul, the installation of new materials, and the installation of the baseboard that goes around the area where the new flooring will take place. This contract was vetted, and we do have Leila Simmons, our Chief Financial Officer, here to address any additional questions.
Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of 8.0? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve the flooring for the second floor at Harrison Elementary. Motion made by Trustee Rodriguez. Second made by Trustee Smith. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Agenda, we have 8.06, the approval of the ELA textbook adoption for the 2024-2025 school year.
Yes, this textbook adoption is really critical to the success and moving forward with the district. This is really one of the first times, I believe, from engaging with my directors, that we've chosen one company to address the ELA curriculum from K-12. We do have Dr. Leslie Yanders here that can go into more detail about this, but I believe that this is something that hasn't happened in a long time in this district. So, Ms. Dr. Yanders, can you?
Good evening. Good evening. Oh, you guys can't hear me? Okay, here I go. Good evening. Questions?
Before we head into questions, I do like to ask the audience if they do have any comments before we take action. And seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion for the approval of 8.06.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Rodriguez, second by Trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion? I did just have a follow-up question. So with these, I've used my perspectives in the past, but my question is there anything to help some of our remedial learners in this textbook and in the programs, whether it's online or teacher materials, things in that nature?
Yes, so the process involved vetting various companies on those same aspects that you're speaking of. And one of the things, the reasons that Savas was chosen, in my perspective, was the fact that it does provide tiered instruction. So what do we mean by tiered instruction? That means that it addresses, it's inclusive of all of our students. There's special ed, ELL, as well as just our general ed students who are in the third tier. Not only that, the product also availed us the opportunity to have AI embedded in all of its products, where it could also help the teachers, provide them more resources, help them grade those essays quickly, but the essays are also graded by AI, which can detect plagiarism. So that was a big kudo for this product. Yeah. So no cheating, guys. And it also provides dual language parts of it. Students can put their essays in English, translated to Spanish, and vice versa, even some of the supplemental materials that go along with it. I can go on and on and on, but this process was a process that included all of the teachers. They all had a say in it, from the first stage to the selection. It was all teacher input.
Thank
Any more
you.
questions?
When will this start?
Next school year.
Next school year?
Next, yes,
next school
ma'am,
year?
next school year.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any other questions or discussions at this time?
Mr. President,
Yes.
Dr. Anders, just how would you go about assessing, the effectiveness of this program?
So, just like any product can be assessed as being a good product. It's the user of the product. So we have to provide our teachers with in-depth professional development on the use of the product with fidelity. So if they don't receive that training and it's not monitored effectively from the standpoint of not only the administrators, the coaches, and this, that, and the third, then no product is going to work. It's about the user. The number one thing with Hattie's teacher effectiveness on that scale is direct instruction. So if you were to ever read about Hattie's, Hatties, he talks about direct instruction. So it's all about the teacher. One of the things I put in that rubric, when we created the rubric on the selection of these various products, was scripted materials that would go along with the textbooks as well. And the reason why I wanted it to be scripted is because we have so many EPs, not just School City of East Chicago, across the country. We have a lot of teachers that are on emergency permits, substitute teachers. So it was nice that that Savas also had that scripted part. So I can take a teacher who's fresh out of a program, who's coming in as an EP, transition to teaching, and I can avail them that opportunity to use that script. But once again, this also goes back to professional development. How well do we train the teacher to use the materials with fidelity? When I conducted an audit of all of the materials when I first came to schools, back to School City East Chicago, I conducted an audit, Mr. Gomez, of all of the products that the teachers are currently using. And I have several people who helped in that, Capitan, Navarro, and I discovered that we have a lot of products that are underused or not used at all and wasting a lot of money, and they're not effective. So I have removed those products from our usage. So you may hear a lot of grumbling going on from some of our teachers, but it was a waste of money. You're right, Mr. Gomez. It has to be done, used effectively.
Thank you. And I agree with you on the professional development side. and I also agree with you on the coaches and administrators side. I guess I'm trying to get to a point of really, when it comes down to it, is there, are we basically holding the, the principals accountable? Are we holding the instructional coaches accountable? Who is that person? I'm just trying to figure out, because it seems like it's easy for one person to point the other way and say, well, it's his or her job.
No, it's all our jobs. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to say what particular director would monitor that, we don't have a director of secondary ed. I'm stepping into that role.
Okay.
I've stepped into that role because there was a need there.
Yeah.
When I came in, I stepped into many roles upon my arrival back to school, City of East Chicago, because there was a need.
Okay, thank you.
So if teachers have questions or problems with my perspectives, who comes out from the company to deal with those? And I guess my question is that I don't want a sales rep coming out and like working with those. Does my perspectives have instructional coaches or have people that deal with the education components of the textbook that can come out and service us?
Yes, they are going to, because we are adopting them for that first year, we have professional development that's going to be given to us for free.
Okay.
So they're going to give us that step-by-step professional development. Use this certain part of it, come back to check to monitor it. We're also going to give them feedback on how well it's going. The coaches will probably receive more coaching and development on it than anybody else, because they're the first person on hand, they're the first go-to, as well as our building administrators. We're not going to leave them out, because they are the ones that can go in and give that teacher that extra help and that extra coaching that they need, not just in the use of the product. I've said this before in another district that I work in. It's not the curriculum. Once again, it's the instruction that's involved. The curriculum is just a tool. What type of instruction backs that up? So yes, they're going to come out, Savas, to answer your question and give us that. Yes, they will give us that, but also giving our coaches more training so they can give them, if you've ever heard of the term trainer. So making them the trainers so they can train the trainer, and also giving the teachers extra help.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Is there any other questions or discussion points at this time? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next on the agenda, we have 8.07, the approval of Life Touch Service Agreement.
Yes. With Life Touch Services, they provide, this is a service level agreement. They will be taking pictures of our students K through 12, but also we're going to utilize those digital images to go into our badge solution. We do have our senior technology advisor and Andy Capitan here that can go into detail about how this company will, the service that this company provides will integrate with the services of the badge solution company that we've chosen.
Okay, what we decided to do this year was to narrow down to a single vendor for our photos, for the student pictures, that would work with our student badge solution and also with our other solutions such as Panorama and Skyward. We did a rubric, and we came on top was Life Touch, and some of the basic reasons that we chose Life Touch was they offered us the best package for the parents for a lock-in for 3 years. And the other things that I said they offer is a nice web-based, it's housed so out of district, so we don't have to worry about any extra equipment, and we'll be able to load this into our badge system and again other systems. And they also offered things for the pictures and also for the yearbooks, and they have the best portal access for doing all the uploads. And so that's our basic reason for choosing them.
Thank you. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of 8.07? Seeing and hearing none, is there a motion from the board for the approval of 8.07?
Mr. President, make a motion to approve.
Motion made by trustee
Second.
second made by trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion or questions at this time?
Mr. President,
Yes.
just with this 3-year agreement, is there an opportunity for an out here in the event we're not satisfied with their services?
Basically, yes, if we're not satisfied with their services, we could leave them, but if we do leave them, Life Touch will not do business with the school city of East Chicago after that.
Okay.
And part of the out is there's a 30-day out, so we have to give them 30 days' notice.
Is there any other discussion items or discussion points at this time? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have public forum.
Good evening, everyone. If you signed up for public forum, if you could, please step to the podium and state your name and your address. Your comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please be respectful of the audience, the staff, and the board members. Also, please refrain from discussing any personnel matters. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. Okay. Okay. I'm Tykia Wright. Address is Administration Building.
Can
In East
you talk
Chicago.
a little bit more into the mic?
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, better. Thank you.
Okay. So I guess my question is, it's more so, yeah, it's like a question. So I'm looking on the last board meeting, which was May 14th, I saw that 6.14, it was approval of 3% increase for the non-certified and the non-union administrators. But as of today, I don't see that on the agenda or nowhere on here. So I guess my question for all of us is, will that be approved for us, or do we have to wait as long as we waited with our last superintendent? So I guess the question is, will we be getting our 3% raise, or when it's going to come back on our agenda? I'm asking that for all of the non-certified and administrators here in this audience today. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, let me just want to go ahead and just quickly answer that.
Okay.
I know it's not question and answer, but I think it's an important topic that I want to touch on.
Thank you.
It's going to be at our next meeting. There was
Okay.
some questions that we wanted to talk about in an executive session before we throw that on the agenda, because there's other there's other personal questions that I wanted to talk about as a board before we talk about it in public.
Okay.
So the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. I'll be here.
Bonita Arnold, 4821 Drummond Street, East Chicago. It's not really a question, but I'm just wondering, I was listening online on my way coming in here from another event. I heard Jesse say that it was 3 criteria for the superintendent search, and I'm sure that he's with the results that came in. How do we know that what the 3 results really were? Is that going to be public knowledge? Is this something that may change from person to person or board member? And then secondly, we raise our children, we ask them to do good in school, come back, be a great citizen. And I'm just listening to Dr. Yanders today. She's doing such an awesome job. And we have the interim superintendent. I really wish you guys would think differently, or think with your heart, think with your mind, think with your soul, because we are sending a signal when we stop and overlook the two individuals from our city who know our city, that they're just qualified in every capacity. And then thirdly, you guys as board members, maybe we need to figure out a way to evaluate you. Maybe it's not the superintendents, but maybe it's our board. So let's really take a great look at this, because we're watching what's happening. We're sick and tired of it. We keep getting in, we stand in the mud, we never get out of it. So I'm just hoping that we can notice that we have two gems right here in this auditorium today that are working hard for our children, but yet it appears that they're being overlooked, not accounted for, not valued. Think about that. Thank you.
Okay. That's it for the public forum.
Next on the agenda is trustee remarks, and we will begin with Ms. Lott.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So first off, I would like to say thank you to the board for the plaque and the honor. I appreciate that, and I've appreciated working with you all. And I also wanted to congratulate my friends who all left, you know. But I don't honestly have that much to say. Graduation is coming up June 8th, 2 o'clock. I get to make a speech, so exciting. And let me think. It appears that some of my remarks last time may have been a little scathing. If that is the way that was taken, I'm sorry, I apologize. But everything I said was true. And that is all. That's all I really have to say.
Trustee Smith?
I'd just like to say congratulations to all of us.
Mike?
I'd just like to say congratulations to all of our students, whether you made an honor or top 20. I'm just elated that you completed your course. Even though you might not have made it to the top 20 or honor student, you do have hidden talents that God has given you. So those of you who are not going to go to college, please dig into your mind, your heart, and your soul and figure out what you want to do. Always and never, ever, ever give up your dreams. You do not have to be a college graduate to become a millionaire. You don't have to be a college graduate to become a successful business person, but never give up on your dream and never give up on yourself. No matter how hard it might get. And no, you might have not made, you might have been number 38 graduating, but that's because that's just a number. That does not defy you. So to all of the graduates of 2024, go out into this world, do your best. But first of all, and most important of all, put God first. Then He will show you your directions. Don't be afraid to fail, because failure teaches you. But I'm depending upon each one of you to come back and let me know that you have done your very, very best. So don't give up on your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do it. Don't let anybody discourage you. You just keep on pushing. That's all I have to say. Congratulations to all of the 2024 graduates. And God bless each and every one of you. And I'd like to thank the parents. I know it hasn't been easy. We're dealing with a different generation. So we have to, hats off to the parents, because I know pushing them has not been easy, but I just like to say thank you, parents, for your hard work, and teachers for understanding and just showing love to our students. And hopefully in 2024-25 school year, the graduation rate will get better. I'm not gonna say hopefully, I know it will. You have to learn how to put things into the atmosphere in order to come to you. So I'm saying 2024 will be a better year. I already know it, I feel it. We've had some bumps, but we're gonna make it through this. Thank you.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Just a few words. I'd first like to acknowledge Chelsea Lott. I would like to express my gratitude to you for your exceptional service as Student Council President during our board meetings. Your dedication and leadership have been very invaluable to our board as well as to our team. Your contribution have made a significant impact in our school, in our students, and our parents, as well as this board. So I want to thank you, and I wish you luck on your next endeavor. Secondly, to all the graduates, top 20, I just want to first say that you have made a milestone in your life, filled with excitement, anticipation for the future. As you close this chapter, you now begin your next chapter and your next journey in life. Reflecting in the past, we used to attend, now this is something that we did in the past. We used to attend a lot of parties. We used to have gatherings on weekends and things like that, but be respectful. Drive carefully. Let that driver go in front of you. Do not drive recklessly. Do not do anything that would hurt your future, your life, your family. It's important to understand that because in this school year, in every school year, we always tend to lose 1 to 2 students for just reckless behavior. So we don't want to see that. We don't want to lose any of our kids, any of our seniors, any of our graduates. So it's very important to be mindful and to just remember that, just to be you and be respectful. Also to the retired teachers, I want to express my gratitude on your retirement. I know it was well deserved because you were, and I hope that you were filled with enjoyment and fulfillment of all the accomplishments that you've done for our children. And I wish you the best of luck in your future. And hopefully one day I'll see you again, and whether it's in the store or in the mall, and I will also, hopefully I'll remember you and you remember me, and we can talk about some of the history that you've had. And I know this will be a new chapter in your life as well. So thank you very much.
Trustee Gibson-King?
Thank you. Yes, I want to thank all of our students, I want to thank all of the seniors. I want to thank those that were here today, the JROTC, the top 20 students, the Lutheran and valedictorian, Chelsea Lott. But I want to thank their parents for allowing this to happen for their children. This is a big step, I know, for not only for our students, but for the parents as well. I'm glad that we are here in our students' house. We are here at Central High School in the auditorium having our school board meeting where I know they feel most comfortable, I would like to think. But anyway, I would just like to wish them well. Keep God first and foremost in your life, as you have always been doing. It shows that to all of our students. And I just want to wish everybody well. And thank you all for coming out. And please don't let this be your last meeting. Just come out and see how our students are doing and what they are prospering in doing, and things that you can help out being in our community. Because this is a big step here for our children to get to. Thank you.
Trustee Gomez.
Thank you. I just have a few items. Beginning of this year, the composition of the board changed, and I think the dynamics changed as well. One of the changes that happened was that I believe the board began to become more focused on academics, thanks to the teacher up here. And I think tonight was a good example of us refocusing and looking at academic achievement here. So as we move forward, I think about this because I see billboards and I see banners up for other schools in this city that are challenging us. They're telling us on those signs, come to my school because we have better academics. Come to my school because we have more discipline. Those are two areas that I think the board's going to continue working on so that we can recapture those students. Those are certainly two areas that I think we can draw some attention to and take away those concerns that this school doesn't offer good this school district does not offer good academics, that it does not have a good discipline policy in place, and that our students can't graduate from here without having a successful post-high school career, whether it be academics, military, or in the field of private industry. So I just want the community to know that, it seems like it's taken us a long road to get here. 12 years ago was the first time we had an elected school board. 12 years ago, when these kids were in first grade, is when this board became an elected board. And so 12 years later, are we better off? And I would say we're not there, but we're getting there. So hang on with us for the ride. I think you'll enjoy the what we got coming in front of us for the next couple of school years. Thank you.
I just want to congratulate our graduates, and specifically I want to congratulate our pre-K 3 and pre-K 4 graduates who graduated from Cary Gosh this past week. Cary Gosh being the first level 3 school for us, so it was even a special commencement for them. And I just want to give kudos to Ms. Ransomfer and the rest of the team at Cary Gosh for making it a very successful school year for all those students. And next, I'm thinking about the class of 2024 a lot, because I see it with my students, the excitement. I see it with you, the excitement that it is that you're kind of coming here close to the end. And I just want to truly say congratulations, because it was not easy. And that's, you might hear that phrase that it was not easy, but it really wasn't easy these past 4 years. I think about, when you guys when COVID started off in 2020, yeah, you guys were probably 8th graders, 8th graders going home for an extended 2 weeks. And first it was kind of a celebration, like, oh, we get 2 weeks of spring break. I was there with you. I was excited, and then all of a sudden our world turned upside down. We lost a lot of family. We lost a lot of friends. You lost a lot of family. You lost a lot of friends. And I can't imagine going through the high school experience about how challenging it is. And not challenging when I'm talking about, academics or sports, but just challenging when I'm talking about just navigating your transition into adult life. And I just want to truly say congratulations for that, because these past 4 years, like I said, they were not easy. And we are almost there. We got about a week left. And I cannot wait until June 8th hits so that we can celebrate all your achievements together as one huge community, something that you didn't get as you were leaving 8th grade coming into Central High. So just again, congratulations. You guys deserve it. You guys worked really hard. And I'm so happy for you, and I can't wait to see what you guys do in your future. Thank you. All right. With that being said, the date and time of our next meeting is Tuesday, June 11th at 6 p.m. Location to be announced. I'm looking for a motion for adjournment. Motion made by Trustee Rodriguez. Second made by Trustee Smith. Is there any, we can go ahead with a roll call vote, or we can go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions?